Hey, what's up, guys? It's Michael McAllister here with another GHL weekly breakdown. We've got some really exciting updates for you this week, including communities, a brand new feature that I can't wait to share with you. Stay tuned for our GHL weekly breakdown. It's coming right up. All right, guys, this week, pretty much everything that we're sharing with you is going to have to be enabled in Labs. So we're going to start with a review of how you access Labs. Now, if at the agency level, you don't have beta features enabled, so if you have your own agency, you have to go into agency settings and enable beta features. If you do not have your own agency and you're under somebody else's and you go to settings and you do not see Labs down here where it says new, if you don't see Labs, then your agency does not have beta features enabled. Either communicate that with them or sign up with us, because then you'll get access to the latest and greatest features as soon as they drop along with these videos. Okay, so the first feature that we're going to talk about is communities. This is a brand new feature, and we haven't done very much to explore or really dabble with it at all. Honestly, it just came out yesterday, and I'm a little bit intimidated at the thought of jumping into it right now. Between that and it's just kind of our approach with some of these major feature launches, or it has been in the past at least, to kind of wait on the sidelines for at least a week or two and kind of let the bugs kind of work themselves out. I don't know if that's the approach we're going to take with this kit. You know, in this case, we haven't had the community. We haven't had this channel of sharing these updates with you and had a need to really dive into these features early, whereas we do now. So odds are we'll be diving into this in the next week or so. But here's a preview of what it looks like. All right, so once you're in Labs, you just need to make sure that you have communities enabled. Now, it's my recommendation, especially if you're watching these videos and trying to take advantage of all of the features that are available to you, just come in and enable all these. And then when you see a bug with something, if it's related to one of the things that you enabled, then come back and disable it. This is if you're a power user. If not, watch these videos. If you see something you like, go in and enable it. And if not, then just ignore it, and it'll eventually come live in your account once it's worked a little bit more of the bugs out. All right, so now that I have communities enabled in Labs, I can go in. This is in the membership section is where you're going to have to access this. So again, if you don't have memberships enabled, then you're not going to be able to access this feature. I don't think that we have this enabled by default for our clients of Empower LO. So it'll probably be a couple weeks before our clients have access to this, unless somebody raises their hand and says, hey, I want access to this. This is really cool. I want to dabble with it, in which case we're always open to enable early access to features and anything that you see in these videos. So create group. We can name our group here. We can assign a group URL, and then there's going to be somewhere else in here that we can assign domain settings, right? So if we come in here, right, here's our subdomain. We could do custom domains here, so you can set up your own domain, whether, you know, communities.idahohomeloanhelp.com or something like that, right? You can come in here, you can set up a custom domain, and then apparently the look of this to the user is supposed to be pretty solid. Again, this is a brand new feature. It just dropped yesterday, 2 days ago. I'm typically not big on jumping into those right away. So, you know, play with it at your own risk. Let us know how it goes. We'll dabble with it soon and we'll let you know. We see this as being a potential replacement for our Facebook group down the road if it becomes powerful enough. I know I don't really like logging into a Facebook. I know a lot of people don't really like logging into Facebook. So especially if we can include it inside the Empower LO accounts really easily, and inside anybody else's account that wants to put it as a custom menu link, then I think that's a win. So we will be using it, just not yet. All right, this next update is huge, and it's not just huge for what it means right now. It's a huge indicator of what's to come. And what is that? That is the ability to CC and BCC emails within the email composer. So the email composer is going to be basically inside of conversations or inside of a contact. When you're in here and you're writing your messages, this is your composer. So now within the composer, hold on, if you have the new Conversations UI enabled in Labs and you have this, the CCC BCC V2 enabled in Labs, here's what it looks like. CCC BCC V2, that has to be enabled. And new message composer, I believe that's the other one that has to be enabled for this. So if you do not have either of those enabled, then, or both of those enabled, then this won't work. But if you do, you now have the ability to add CC or BCC or both to an email. There is the ability to identify emails within an email chain within your conversation view that have CC or BCC. You can reply all when you get an email that has a CC or BCC. All of these features are kind of being added at once. This is really, really cool. I'm really excited. I imagine within the next couple of weeks, hopefully, we will now have the ability to do this within automations as well. And so the use case of this is, especially now that we can assign multiple email addresses to a contact, the use case for this is going to be being able to CC agents or CC co-borrowers on communications to your borrowers from within HighLevel, whereas it used to be you have to set up a workflow specific to the real estate agent, and you would have to send different emails to your agent for a notification and then to your client for a notification. This looks like it's going to be fixed really soon. So if you're not excited about this, you probably haven't been using email too much or automated email too much, or you're not using the loans in process features that we have set up, or you don't have any set up yourself. Guys, this is really big. We're really excited about this. Stay tuned for more information on when you're going to be able to CC and BCC on your automated emails. All right, next up, we've been talking a lot about minor UI, UX enhancements, or is kind of how they refer to it from HighLevel, and then how I relay it onto you. UI, user interface, UX, user experience. I could explain the difference between the two of them, but it would probably take me a while and I'd probably get it wrong on some level. So UI, UX, I kind of use those interchangeably, incorrectly. But the point is it's making it better. It's making it smoother. It's making it faster. My staff is the update this round. We're excited about this, or I'm excited about this. I know Megan on Roy's team is going to be excited about this. I remember sitting and adding employees with Megan in Roy's office and seeing how slow it was just entering, and I'm going to show you on my screen here, just entering the phone number, right? So here I am, I'm entering the phone number, simple, like I can do this, right? It seems like that shouldn't be something that was slow. It was crazy slow. Adding people from within your account as opposed to us doing it at the agency level was like painstakingly slow. So this is really cool to see. This is something that was like one of the only processes that I kept banging my head against the wall going, how is it that they haven't made this better? And here it is, they've made it better. So just a really cool update to see. Again, if you've done this, you know what I'm talking about when putting any of these fields in my staff and how slow it would move. Password was a pain in the ass because you can't see the password. And it's going, the characters aren't moving as fast as you're typing. So anyways, cool update. We're excited to see it. All right, lastly, we have more UI, UX enhancements, this time in workflows. This was a major update for them. Workflows are a big project for them to maintain, or a big feature for them to maintain. For them to have rolled out UI and UX updates for this that make it smoother and faster is awesome, because really I didn't have any complaints about the speed or the responsiveness before. Maybe every once in a while, but watch on my screen. If you've used workflows before, then a lot of this will look familiar, although some of the verbiage has changed. For example, allow re-entry versus allow multiple, a little bit more straightforward here. I think they changed the location of these settings to be towards the top instead of down here. Specific time opens up this. This is a lot cleaner than it was before. If we go to the enrollment history, we now have the ability to remove the contact from the workflow here, force the contact to the next step in the workflow really easily, which is really good for testing, or really good for correcting an error in the workflow, viewing the execution history for an individual. Really cool updates here. And again, really just the responsiveness and the speed at which it's moving as I navigate through it. Again, just awesome updates from HighLevel. Always to the infrastructure, I should say. Always, as in the last year and a half, we've been really impressed to see the continued investments in the infrastructure and in the speed of the platform. All right, guys, that's it for this week's GHL Weekly Breakdown. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for next week's. Also, jump on for next week's Zoom room. We didn't do one last week, so it should be a good one this upcoming week, Tuesday at 11 o'clock Mountain Time. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you at the top.